Good morning, guys, and welcome to our channel. Today's topic of discussion about evaluation. Okay, one of the another important topic for your teaching examination, especially the government examinations. So we are going ahead with the evaluation. Now, evaluation is sound quite similar to measurement and assessment, but actually it is different from it. Okay, in what ways it is different? What its definition? What are its characteristics? And all that we are going to discuss in today's chapter or the topic of discussion here. All right. So let's have a look at it. That it says that it is different from measurement as well as from assessment. Now it is defined over here as a what is evaluation. Evaluation is defined as a systematic process of collecting and analyzing data in order to determine whether and to what degree objectives have been or being achieved. Okay, and this definition is given by Gay in 1991. All right, and what is the purpose of this evaluation? Evaluation helps us in decision making. Okay, now as a teacher you should understand that the purpose of evaluation is to make the judgment about the quality of worth of something. Okay, this is said by Ebel and Frisbie in 1991. So this is what is evaluation. You got the definition of it here. It is all right. Now we are going ahead. Now, how this evaluation is different from our assessment, guys. Okay, that we will see here over here. It says in assessment, okay, we try to find out the level of achievement or the performance of the learner. This is what we are trying to find in the assessment. But on the other hand, in evaluation, your focus is how good the performance or the level of performance is. Okay, you can say that evaluation is the process of value judgment. As I have underlined here already, you can see it is the process of value judgment. It is also used to refer to the products or outcome of the process. You can say that measurement and assessment are the means of evaluation is the end. Okay, so measurement and assessment are what? They are the means, and evaluation is what? Evaluation is the end, final product. All right, and measurement and assessment is to reach there to the goal. Okay, this is what the main difference is that between the measurement, assessment and evaluation. So in the process of evaluation, the measurement is the first step. Okay, when you start the process, so measurement is what? Measurement is the first step, like, okay, like this is your first step. Okay, so this is what the measurement is. Okay, then you go for the next step over here. Okay, so as it says, the measurement is the first step, like this we will see like stepwise here. Okay, so measurement is your first step, this way you can understand, and assessment comes next, and here it comes your assessment, the next one, when the next and the value judgment is added to it, and it becomes evaluation, and finally what it reached to evaluation. That is the last stage of it. Now according to Bebby, okay, evaluation as the systematic what we call it is the systematic collection on interpretation of evidence leading as the part of the process to a judgment of value with the view of actions. Okay, if you analyze this definition, you can identify the four key elements. There are four key elements of evaluation, okay, that we will discuss now. And what these key evaluations are: first is the systematic collection of evidences are required for evaluation. Okay, like if you are doing any evaluation, so first you need the proof for it. Okay, yes, this is how the things are happening. Then it's interpretation. The third one is judgment of the value, and the fourth one is a view of action. Okay, now these four key elements we will discuss one by one. The first one is your systematic collection. Okay, so what this systematic collection is here? Okay, so systematic collection implies that whatever information is gathered should be acquired in a systematic and a planned way with some degree of precision or the clarity. Is it clear? Now, information gathered systematically should be carefully analyzed and interpreted. Okay, superficial observations may lead to the wrong interpretation. Okay, if something you are trying to do hyper, then it may lead to the wrong result also. Now, the second one is your second key element is the judgment of values. Okay, so judgment of values takes evaluation far behind the level of mere descriptions of what is happening, but requires the judgments about the worth of an endeavor. Okay, and the next one is a view of action means every decision has a specific references to the action. It may be conclusions oriented or decision oriented. Okay, So characteristic of a good evaluation: as a teacher, whenever you are involved in the evaluation process, you should ensure that evaluation should have following characteristics. Okay, now we are going to talk about the characteristic of the good evaluation process. Okay guys, further we have the characteristic of good evaluation. Okay, what are the major characteristic? So first one is your validity. So a valid evaluation is the one which actually tests what is set out to test. That is one which actually measures the behavior described by the objectives under scrutiny. Okay, second quality of good evaluation or good characters or the characteristic of evaluation is reliability. It is a measure of consistency with which the question, test or the examination produces the same result under the different but comparable conditions. A reliable evaluation mechanism is independent of the characteristics of individual evaluator. And the third one is your practicability. Okay, evaluation procedure should be realistic, practical and efficient in terms of the cost, time taken and ease of application. Next characteristic is your fairness. Evaluation must be fair for all learners. This can be possible by accurate reflecting of range of expected behaviors as desired by the course objectives. And the fifth one is usefulness. Evaluation should be useful for all learners. Feedback from evaluation must be made available to learners and help them to prove their current strength and weaknesses. Okay, now next we will look at what is the purpose of evaluation. Okay, why do we conduct evaluation? So here are the following purposes are given. We see them one by one. The first one is to determine the relative effectiveness of the program in the terms of the students' behavioral output. So with the help of evaluation, we will come to know about the students' behavior also. Now the second is, it says to make reliable decisions about educational planning. Okay. The third one is to ascertain the worth of time, energy and resources invested in a program. Okay. The fourth purpose is to identify the student's growth or lack of growth in acquiring the desirable knowledge, skills, attitude and societal values. Means how much a child is growing properly in the direction of social values and education field. The fifth purpose of evaluation, to help the teachers to determine the effectiveness of their teaching techniques and learning materials. Okay, with the help of evaluation, we come to know about the quality of the teacher also, whether the teacher is teaching good or not, because the whole thing depends on the result, right? If the result of a class is coming good, then it means the teacher's efforts are worth. The sixth point is to help motivate the students to learn more as they discover their progress or the lack of progress is given in given task. Okay, so this also motivates the students. The student will come to know that how much efforts he needs to put in. Seventh one is to encourage the students to develop a sense of discipline, okay, and systematic study habits. Okay, with the help of evaluation, a child can be motivated or encouraged for the self-discipline, and also a child can develop the habit of learning by its own. Okay, further is to provide the educational administration and educate information, means sufficient information about the teacher's effectiveness and school need to acquaint the parents and guardian with their child or children's performance, to identify the problems that might hinder or prevent the achievement of set goals, to provide the general trend in the development of the teaching learning process, to ensure an economical and efficient management of scarce resources. Next is to provide an objective basis for determining the promotion of students from one class to another, as well as the award of certificates. Okay, to provide a just basis for determining at what level of education the possessor of certificate should enter a career. Okay guys, further we have about the continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, now what is continuous evaluation and what is comprehensive evaluation, that we try to understand. So the continuous and comprehensive evaluation, which is also known as called CCE. Okay, it was the process of assessment mandated by Right to Education Act of India in 2009. This approach to assessment was introduced by the state government in India as well as by Central Board of Secondary Education, that is your CBSE. Okay, in India, for the students of 6th to 10th grade and 12th in some schools. Now from this, the smaller classes student would have a practice to face the exam of board in younger age. The Karnataka government introduced CCE for grades 1 to 9. Later, it was also introduced for 12th grade students. Okay. The main aim of CCE was to evaluate every aspect of the child during their presence at the school. So this is the main goal of CCE. Okay. This was believed to help reduce the pressure on the child, okay, during or before the examination, as the student will be have to set the multiple tests throughout the year, of which no test or the syllabus covered will be repeated at the time of year whatsoever. Okay, means it's what the CCE is not only just a final examination, it is the evaluation of a child for the whole year, that what activities he has participated, whether his work is complete or not, what is behavior. Okay, so all that is the part of your continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Means a child cannot be judged only on the basis of its 3 hours question paper. Okay, but he or she should be evaluated on the basis of what they do whole year. The CCE method was claimed to bring enormous means huge changes from the traditional chalk and talk method of teaching, provided it is implemented accurately. What is another advantage of CCE method? That in the chalk and talk method, only the teacher comes, writes, and he talks and he goes, and on the basis of that the child is evaluated. But no, now in CCE method, what activities the child does, okay, how much interest the child is taking, whether he's interested in extracurricular activities or not, okay, that how we perform, how we behave with his classmates, his teachers, staff, that all is the part of it, is the part of your continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Okay, next we have standardized achievement test. Now what this standardized achievement tests are? The achievement tests are generally classified as a standardized test. Okay, which achievement test? They are called your standardized test and teacher made test. Alright. Normally in a school, the teacher made the test are used. Okay, the teacher made the achievement test test assess the students' achievement in relation to the instructions provided in the school. Okay, so whatever the teacher teaches in the classroom, and the basis of that the teacher prepare the test, and this is how they evaluate or assess a child. So standardized tests are constructed by the construction specialist. Now what the standardized tests are? They are not made by the teacher, but they are made by construction specialist, usually with the assistance of the curriculum experts. Okay, teachers and schools administrators, for the purpose of determining a student's level of performance relative to the performance of other students of similar age and grade. This test often take long time to construct. These tests are called standardized because they are administered and scored according to the specific and uniform procedures. In other words, a standardized test administered and scored in a school would be administered and scored in exactly the same manner as anywhere else in the country. Means the evaluation will remain the same in the standardized test. Okay, there will not be any kind of partiality or favorism. Okay, next we have uses of standardized achievement test. So standardized assessment tests are used for comparative purposes. Okay, we compare them. These are quite different from the main uses of the teacher-made test, which are determined student mastery or the skill levels. Okay, to assign the grades and to provide the student and parents with feedback. Now a question arises as to why the classroom teacher administrator administers a standardized test. Maybe to compare the performance of the students of the current year with the performance of the student of the previous year, or compare the class A with the class B. But the most appropriate answer is more likely that the classroom teacher administers a standardized test because he or she is required to do so. Okay, this is the case in many, if not most, of the school standardized test. Okay, test construction in the country. Part of the reason for this is the current trend towards the increasing accountability, which includes evaluation of various state fund programs. Most, if not all, such programs require that standardized achievement tests be administered as per of the program evaluation, and the further funding may depend on the result of the test. By doing so, we would be able to compare students' school and district with each other in order to make judgment concerning the effectiveness of the program across the school, district, or state. Okay, this will all possible with the help of standardized test only. Okay, the kind of a regular test which the teacher made, on the basis of that we cannot compare them, right? But supposingly if you want to compare the students at the larger scale, maybe at the state level, district level, national level, then what we require is a standardized test. Okay, the format of the test will remain same, question may be different, but the student will be decide on the basis of that. As long as the objective remains, use of standardized tests will be necessary part of the teaching. Okay, hence teachers should learn to administer and interpret the results of standardized tests, which are sometimes used for evaluating the general educational development of the students in the basic skills. Now, the standardized tests are also used for evaluating students. Okay, for evaluating students' progress during the year or over a period of year, and for grouping the students for instructional purposes. This test can also be used for diagnosing relative strengths and weaknesses of the student in terms of broad subjects and skill areas. All right, so guys, this is what we have discussed today about the evaluation. What's its purpose, what is characteristic, what is standardized test. Okay, all these important topics we have covered in this. Okay, so I wish you good luck ahead for whichever exam you are preparing for. My best wishes ahead, and keep watching, and kindly like, subscribe and share, and comment on it if any requirement is there regarding. Okay, all right, so I wish you good luck to all of you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.